This week at the Net Cafe, the performing arts on the web. Meet Diana Sunshine. Her website for the San Francisco Opera is the perfect way to understand Puccini or even Wagner. This is the Drama Exchange website, one way to get your unpublished play up on the net. Tom Turiglia loves to play the accordion, and he has created the ultimate website for accordion aficionados. If you're into computer art forms, robots, and people interacting, check out this performance website, eiu.org. And meet Lisa Garth. She loves the rock band Counting Crows, and she's created a website to prove it. The performing arts on the web, coming up next at the Net Cafe.
The Net Cafe is made possible in part by BigStar.com, with thousands of videos and DVDs for the whole family. Additional support by TechWeb for up-to-the-minute technology news. And by TVA, Television Associates, bridging the worlds of computers and video with DVD authoring and MPEG encoding services.
Hi, and welcome to the Net Cafe. We're here at Club I in San Francisco, and this week we're talking about performing arts online. We're going to start with the world of opera, but don't go away if you're not an opera fan. You may learn something about how to promote your favorite cultural activity on the web. Andrew is with a marketing expert who is doing this very well.
Diana Sunshine, you're from the San Francisco Opera, and when you think of opera and the internet, it's sort of hard to imagine the two going together. I've never really been to the opera. I'm sort of a newbie to the whole thing. You guys have a very comprehensive site. Tell me how the opera and the internet got together.
Okay, well, we always say that opera is the original multimedia. It has costumes, it has sets, it has singing, it has music, it has drama and tragedy, and it combines many elements together, and the internet does the same thing. And so it's a natural that we would want to have our product out on the World Wide Web. Our general director, Lotfi Mansouri, is a man who believes that opera is for everybody, and he's a real populist through the core.
Right, so this is really bringing it to potentially a global audience.
Oh, definitely.
Online. So how popular is the site? Have you found people?
I'd say it's very popular. It's one of these sites where we obviously built it so we could educate people by giving them a breadth and depth of information about opera. So it's for the beginner like yourself, so you can come and see what operas we're doing, maybe learn a story or so. It also goes for our experts, because then they can come in and read articles and listen to music and get to know the opera more. And it's been very successful, because as soon as we built it and as soon as we put our ticketing function on there, we realized that people were not just coming to look at the opera, they're also coming to buy tickets. And I think in the last year we sold about $1.5 million worth of tickets on the internet. And my joke is that if we were an internet company, we would have, a multiple 50, and we'd be, publicly traded on the, NASDAQ.
So you're saying even in the opera world, there's aspirations to be an internet millionaire?
No, we are an opera company.
Right. Okay, let's stick with the sort of newbie, say someone like myself. Opera, you hear the music, but it's hard to see the visuals unless you actually go. I think your site has done a good job of bringing that visual element in there as well. Tell me of sort of some of the areas that really bring that out.
Part of it is obviously just getting beautiful pictures of opera on stage. We do on every page we have more than one visual. We also bring the music, as you were saying, so there's live clips. The other thing that we do is that we have interviews from our artistic staff talking about different things in the opera, how we do costumes, how you would do stage management, how you call a show, and so that lets someone who's a real newcomer understand how many people it takes to make opera on stage and make it accessible to everybody.
Right.
The other thing that we added that was actually kind of interesting this year was that virtual view from your seat to what the stage looks like, so that when you are buying your tickets, you can actually see where you'd be sitting and then decide, is it a good deal or not.
Right, so you're using some sort of 3D technology to show people the actual concert hall and where they can sit. You've also got costumes and things like that on there as well.
So, a three-dimensional kind of view that allows you to kind of see a costume from all dimensions. And that actually is something that we did as a test, and it's worked very well, and we're going to kind of roll it out a lot more in the future, because it seems to be a very popular idea.
Right. Now, okay, real quick here. You guys have a show coming up, The Ring.
Yeah, Der Ring.
The Ring, and you guys have developed a whole comprehensive site just about that.
Exactly.
Give me an idea.
Well, Der Ring des Nibelungen is a huge opera. They call it like the Star Wars of opera. It's 4 operas. Overall, it takes about a week to view the whole thing, and it's 18 hours worth of opera. So for some neophytes, you can call it the March Madness of opera. For other ones, it's the Star Wars of opera. And it's a very international draw. People will come from all over the world, so we thought, well, we have to be on the internet for this because people can then book their travel reservations, they can buy their tickets, they can learn more about the opera, and they can get out to San Francisco. And so we had DSW, which is Donlan, Smith and White, create a whole new site for us just about The Ring, and I think it became about 15% of our revenue model. That as soon as we made that site available for people to buy tickets, that first day, I think our first ticket was from Stockholm or something like that.
Well, I may make The Ring my first visit to the opera.
It's not a really good first opera, but you can if you want to. I'd recommend La Boheme.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That'll be next January.
Thank you, Diana. I'm going to the opera.
For URLs of today's featured websites, just go to the NetCafe site at cmptv.com. One of the great things about the internet, of course, is virtually anybody can create a website and build a community around any particular cultural interest, no matter how weird or obscure it may be. And I don't mean to suggest that accordion music is either weird or obscure. I know some people love it, some people don't like the sound of an accordion. Tom, you're obviously not one of those guys. You are Mr. Accordion, right?
Yes.
You are the creator of the ladyofspain.com website.
I am.
Which is all about the accordion.
Yep.
First of all, let's explain the URL for people who may not know. Why ladyofspain.com?
Lady of Spain is the most famous song associated with the accordion. It was popularized by Dick Contino.
Okay. Is that it because it has that part where you go like this?
I think so. It just
Can you play a
drives-
little bit for us? Give us a
just,
little Lady of Spain. That's the part. That's the part. Right? That's when everybody claps, right?
Yeah. People just faint. They hear it. It's just like
Now,
overwhelming.
what is it about the accordion? Some people just think it's the most god-awful sound, and other people like you just think this is the most wonderful instrument. Why is there a fight over this?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's really kind of a divided camp.
Yes.
But I've found that when I say to people, oh yeah, I play the accordion, they go, oh my God,
Right,
oh,
right.
jeez. But then when I play it for them, they just kind of go, hey, wow, that's really kind of neat. Gee, I never really thought of the accordion. Wow, you're doing that kind of music. You can play that with the accordion, you know, play a tango or something like that. People go, hey, wow, oh, that's right, that's an accordion. And then you see in their eyes light up and they get a big smile and we're changing
All right, so let's go to the
people's
website now. You put together this website just for the accordion. It's everything you've ever wanted to know about the accordion, and more or less, depending on where you're coming from. Was the idea sort of to get you guys together because, I mean, there's kind of a prejudice in a way against some of these accordions? This is one place for people who love the accordion to go and find whatever they need?
Actually not. It's more for people who, of course, accordion aficionados.
Right.
It's some place where they can go to get some really specific information. They can buy and sell.
Where to buy one, how to get lessons, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing. But it's also for people who may have heard accordions peripherally, know about accordions, someplace where they can go and check the accordion out. I've got history of the accordion.
You got audio clips on there where you can listen to pieces of accordion?
Well, yeah, kind of.
A little bit, okay.
I also sponsor National Accordion Awareness Month.
So
there's a lot
I
of
didn't know about.
Yeah, there's a lot of information about that. So it's a good place for people just to find out about the accordion, what's going on in the world of accordions.
Okay, now there's a little bit of history to the accordion in San Francisco, isn't there? Tell us about that.
Yeah, there's really quite a bit. Around the turn of the century, there were, at one time, about 1908, 1909, there was about 8 accordion manufacturers in North Beach.
Wow.
All making the accordion. And
Is there sort of an Italian accordion thing? I know we tend to think of the, you know, what is the concertina or something?
yeah, we think of the concertina, yeah, but a lot of the Italian immigrants who came and settled in North Beach brought the technology with them. They were accordion makers over in Italy, and so they began manufacturing them over here. So the accordion became really quite popular in San Francisco, and in fact, the right side of the accordion, this is probably the most famous type of accordion. It's the piano accordion. The piano part was invented here in San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, where does your love for the accordion come from? I mean, this is your life. You got the website, you got the accordion, do the whole bit. What's the special passion here?
Well, I just think number one, it's love of music and it's love of playing music. And when I wanted to take music lessons, I thought the accordion was just like the
It's like a
hippest-
portable organ, I guess, right? It can do
portable
anything.
organ. Yeah. It's really versatile when it comes to the types of music that you can play. And it's got a really unique sound, obviously a really unique look.
Right,
And I just thought it was the hippest thing going. So I said, all right, I'm
All right,
playing
before
that.
we end up now, first of all, the website again is ladyofspain.com for people who want to find out about the accordion.
Right.
You not only play the accordion, but you play with another guy. You call yourselves Bellows and Blades or Blades and Bellows?
There's a couple. There's Bellows and Blades, and then a new band called Euro 2000.
Okay, and you play the accordion on rollerblades while you're skating.
Yes, can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I know,
Would you just wind up here and just give us a little bit of that and just show us how in the world you can do that? For URLs of today's featured websites, just go to the NetCafe site at cmptv.com. While the web is a tool for promoting various traditional forms of art, it is also becoming a sort of art medium in its own. Some people are using the web as part of their way of expressing art. Andrew is with a guy who does just that.
Eric, you're involved with several groups that are doing things that are, I would guess, called social experiments that involve art and technology, combining them together to create quite a spectacle. One of those is the Survival Research Labs, pretty notorious group here in San Francisco. Can you kind of give me an idea of what they're all about and some of the performances that they put on?
Right, sure. Survival Research Labs was sort of a loose-knit group of basically performance artists and techno wizards that was founded by Mark Pauline in the late 1970s. And essentially, they staged very large-scale performances with machines and robots that completely overwhelm any audience. And they're usually seem very threatening. These are kind of dangerous. There's a lot of huge machines and fire involved typically, but they're also staged very quickly and clandestinely so that these happen.
Right. Do you have to get permits for those things, or is it a little bit illegal?
I can't answer those kind of questions.
Okay. Yeah. But I've heard them from a distance, and I know that it's a really an awesome show of power and technology and art in there somewhere as well. The web has come along, and I know that's expanded your folks' audience and the reach. What is the Survival Research Labs doing on the web?
Right, well, my interests are in telepresence, which is basically taking your presence locally and using the web specifically to position yourself in a remote place. So you can control a robot remotely, for example, and you'd be able to guide, say, an arm, or you'd be able to steer something around and look around and talk with people. So when I became involved with Survival Research Labs, it was seemed pretty obvious that what we would do is try to take a machine that Mark had made and his colleagues and allow people to control it remotely. So some examples of that are, we basically placed a small little track robot that looks sort of like something that the police might use to defuse bombs or something, but it basically dropped that down onto Market Street and let people through a Java applet control that remotely.
Via the web.
Via the web.
Okay. And this is a crowded area. I mean, this is heavy foot traffic, sort of the business area of San Francisco, and now there's a robot running around on the street. What was the response that people had?
Right. Yeah, people definitely took another look. I mean, this is completely out of place, and I think the idea was that we had these anonymous control of people from Moscone Center driving us around talking with people, and they had their presence basically sitting on Market Street was this little track robot, and people were not sure what was going on, basically.
Now, this must be a little bit of a guerrilla undertaking, I'm assuming. It's probably hard to get like insurance and things like that for a robot running around on the street.
Right. Well, this was done very quickly. We basically dropped it down. We brought up some wireless networking down. We set this up and just went for about an hour, and then boom, we were out of there. So these things happen kind of fast.
Right. Okay, tell me about the Experimental Interaction Unit. That's another group that you're involved with that has a website.
Right. So this was a little closer to home. This is something that I basically started, and there's some other people involved as well. And I just wanted to look at different issues specifically involving interaction. So rather than sort of huge, large-scale performances, I wanted to look at designing systems and little devices that had sort of other issues of telepresence.
Okay, tell me about the blimps. I know there's blimps involved in this somewhere.
Right. Well, blimps, that was something I did a couple years ago, but basically they're small helium-filled blimps that would fly around a room, and they had a little camera on them and some other wireless sort of sensors and things, and you would fly this again, through a Java applet, right through your web page, and you'd have video coming from the blimp and two-way audio. So you'd fly up to people and just talk with them remotely. And it was a really nice thing, except you couldn't really go outside. It would just blow away.
The blimp would blow away, right. Okay, so people wanting to find more information can go to both of those sites, and is there more information there as well to other areas?
Right, there's a lot of different links, especially off the Experimental Interaction Unit. There's some related links and some new projects that people, I think, will be interested to check out.
For URLs of today's featured websites, just go to the NetCafe site at cmptv.com. In the world of music, the internet has become a very important new medium for new artists to get their music heard. Well, the same is true now for those involved in theater and drama, playwrights in particular, thanks to you two guys. This is Mike Diderian and Rob Knobb, and you have the Dramatic Exchange, or dramex.org, right?
That's right.
For playwrights, kind of the MP3 of playwrights, I guess?
Sort of. Well, it's not a defined format, but that's the idea.
Let me ask you, first of all, let's sort of define the problem. How many playwrights do you think are out there right now? How many guys are in the middle of writing a play trying to get it published? I mean, tens of thousands.
Probably tens of thousands.
Everybody knows somebody who's working on a play, right?
That's right.
But the trouble is, I guess, it's almost worse than music. What are the odds of actually getting your play produced, actually ever seeing actors on a stage reading your lines?
I think it's very small. I know that a lot of community theaters will take submissions from playwrights, and they'll get 50 or 100 plays submitted. They're going to pick one to do. So it's, and then you have to know as a playwright, where do you send your plays to? Which community theaters? I mean, it's a very, if you're talking sort of amateur playwrights trying to get started, there's just a huge number of places to look, and it's hard to know. There's no real central
so you've
place.
taken the web. I guess you started out as an FTP site, in fact.
Yes.
But now the web, so you've got the sort of general clearinghouse for playwrights and people who want to find plays, I guess, right? Is that the idea behind the site?
That's exactly.
So if I'm a playwright and I want to get it out there, what do I do?
Well, what you can do, one thing you can do if you're interested in the Dramatic Exchange is just send us your play.
How do I do that? Email it to you? Or?
Email it to us. Basically, that's all there is to it. dramex@dramex.org. We've got instructions on the site for the information we want with the play, most important of which is how do we contact you. So if somebody wants to produce your play, they need to get a hold of you. We don't have any control over them ourselves. We're just providing the resource so the playwrights can put their plays out and producers can
All right, now, Mike,
them.
do you actually read these plays that are submitted before you post them up there? Truthfully, I see you're hedging.
Yeah,
that's a lot of plays to read. You got, what do you have, 300-400 plays up there?
In that range.
Okay.
Yeah. And we at this point only get to read them insofar as we run through them as we're checking the formatting.
Okay.
And get an
but
idea
you don't
of what it's
actually
about.
read them. I mean, is there sort of a criteria you've got to pass as a playwright that you guys have to like it before you post it?
No.
No. I want to get it up there. I just send it to you, and you'll put it up there.
Yeah, we don't critique them. We don't judge them. If you're a playwright and you wrote a play, then we're there for you.
All right, now do you have any success stories of somebody who posted a play up there, and lo and behold, some producer, some theater company finds it and says, we want to do your play?
Yeah, quite a few, actually.
Really?
We don't know them all because we know that productions have happened that we never hear about. Since we put these plays up there, producers can find them, contact the playwright directly. We may never hear about some of the productions. So it's hard to know exactly how many there have been. I think we estimate over 30, is that?
That have actually gotten produced.
Yeah.
So they found these plays on your
Either
site.
found or
play
partially as a
Got
result
it.
of it.
All right, now let's talk from the producer's point of view. Suppose I'm running a theater group. I'm a producer. I'm looking for an interesting new play. I go to your site. How's it organized? What do I look for?
Well, we have pages that list the comedies, the dramas.
Okay, so sort of broken up by categories, because I mean that's a job indexing, a couple hundred plays.
That's right. We're going to be developing search engines for it. Right now, we've done the categorization by hand.
So pretty much it's one actors and full plays and screen plays or whatever that. Yeah, by topic also, or is that too much right now?
Sort of. We've got, that's not exactly in there yet, although we've got the infrastructure to do that. When we started this, we were thinking in terms of tens of plays. When we first started doing
not
it,
hundreds
now we're
and
up to
hundreds.
hundreds of plays, so we're sort of evolving.
But you do have a kind of summary paragraph, right,
yes.
for each one of the plays, so you don't have to read every play to figure out what's
3
going
or 4
on.
lines, and then they can go to a second summary that's longer.
What about the copyright issues? Aren't playwrights a little concerned they're putting it up there on your site, and God knows what people are going to do with it now? They're going to download the damn play and they'll never hear anything again?
Yeah, we try to be real clear about that. There isn't anything that we can do. The idea is they're putting it up there, they want it to be seen. What a lot of playwrights do is they submit a portion of their play.
Okay.
First few scenes, so that the
Sort of
public can get an idea of what it's like and get
interested.
interested.
Buy it.
But a lot do submit the whole play.
Yeah.
just get it out there and let somebody read it and like it.
So you guys have day jobs. I know you're an astrophysicist and you're a computer programmer. You guys do a little acting on the side, right? Are you working on a play yourself? I mean, is this a playwriting team we're looking at?
We're not actually looking at a playwriting team, but we have each worked on plays individually.
As in everybody. All right, dramx.org. Thank you, guys. For URLs of today's featured websites, just go to the NetCafe site at cmptv.com. Some of the best performing arts websites are fan sites, unofficial tributes to singers, musicians, performers, other stage celebrities who happen to inspire enough passion in their fans to get them to create their own websites. One great example is the website for the rock group Counting Crows. Andrew is with that site's creator.
Lisa, you've created a site, AnnaBegins.com, and it's devoted to a band called the Counting Crows. Give me a little history of the Counting Crows and why you've decided to create a shrine to them.
Okay, well, when I first got into Counting Crows, their music touched me in a way that no other music had. And
let people out here know who they are, just in case people don't know.
They're a San Francisco, Berkeley-based band. They came out in 1994 with their album, August and Everything After. And they had a follow-up album, Recovering the Satellites. They haven't put out that many albums, but the few they have put out have just gotten a fanship that's amazing to me all over the world.
Right, they're big. They're a big band. They just put out a double live album that I think was a pretty popular album as well.
Very live.
Okay, so you decided, I'm going to create a site, and it looks to me like you've created a site that really gives the record companies and bands and everything sort of a run for their money, if you will. You know, what kind of a commitment does that take?
Oh, it's an unbelievable commitment. I've noticed that there's a lot of information out there, and it's in lots of forums, but not every single person is in every forum, and so that's where I kind of come in and gather it from here and gather it from there, and this person gives me this information, that person, and I just crunch it all together, and it becomes the mecca, if you would.
Right, and it really is.
Yeah.
Now, you've got everything up there, audio, video, chat rooms, and the like. Let's talk a little bit about the audio.
The bootlegs.
Yeah,
samples.
the bootlegs, if you will. How is that legal, and is the band condoning that kind of stuff?
Okay, the band themselves have, they're for bootlegs. They don't mind it. They don't think that they're being robbed if people trade bootlegs. They don't think it's taken away from their money.
In fact, I've heard these guys actually encourage taping at their shows.
I don't know if they so much encourage it, but they don't mind it. They've seen them and bought them themselves.
Right.
They really don't mind. So I just took the opportunity with the real audio and the streaming audio to put samples of my bootleg collection up on my site and my videos.
And you said actually the band you mentioned has listened to these or has checked this out. So they've come to the site. What do they think, or have you gotten correspondence with them?
Oh, they're really encouraging. One of them told me we need more. If there was more fans out there like you, then it'd be great. Other people have told me that you probably scared them off, but for the most part, they really encourage me, and they're great. They're a great bunch of guys.
Good. And you've got video.
And
you've got actually song sheets up there as well. Any copyright issues with that?
No, I don't do copyright. I don't want to step on their toes. I don't want to take anything away from them because everything is theirs. And I fully acknowledge that. I don't want it.
Right.
I just want to share it with people because it's so beautiful. And I know that when people hear it, they'll totally think it's beautiful too because they do. And it is.
Right. Now you've also got chat areas up there, and I'm assuming you are one of the hubs of the Counting Crows on the web.
Actually, I'm what you would call a news groupie. When I hang out on the news group, hi news group people. They're all a great bunch of people, and they all share information and share bootlegs and share stories, and they're great people.
Right. Actually, speaking of sharing stories, there's one section on your site where you actually, I think you have sort of juicy tidbits, or did you know, right?
Yeah.
Did you know little tidbits? It looks like people send those in. Is that how that works?
That's what I have to emphasize, that if it wasn't for the fans that contributed so much to my site wouldn't be anything. It's all them that does it, and their love for Counting Crows, and it's just me that puts it all together.
How much time do you spend putting that together?
Oh, it depends. Sometimes it could be hours and hours a week. Sometimes it could just be, I don't want to play with it today.
Okay, for all the Counting Crow fans out there, or maybe the new ones to come, what's the most interesting tidbit that someone has sent in or that you've found recently about your most favorite band?
Oh, probably the latest was that their new album isn't going to be released until September, and that got a lot of the Counting Crow community quite in an uproar.
Any chance that they'll give you an advanced single to release on your site?
Wouldn't I be so lucky? No, I doubt it. I doubt that would happen, but I have been known to be able to get a hold of things. I do have a song from their album that's yet to be released on my site already.
Wow.
And the minute their album comes out, I will remove it because I don't want to step on their toes, but at the same time, I have it, so I have to share it.
All right, AnnaBegins.com.
Thank you.
For URLs of today's featured websites, just go to the Net Cafe site at cmptv.com. That's it for our look at performing arts online. Thanks for joining us this week at the Club Eye in San Francisco. Hope you'll be with us again next week at the Net Cafe.
The Net Cafe is made possible in part by BigStar.com, with thousands of videos and DVDs for the whole family. Additional support by TechWeb for up-to-the-minute technology news. And by TVA, Television Associates, bridging the worlds of computers and video with DVD authoring and MPEG encoding services.
To purchase a videotape copy of today's program, call toll-free 1-888-310-7850. Please specify the show number and the topic.
Each Valkyrie is actually slightly different. We have no two Valkyries alike. And that was part of the original concept from John Conklin, that he didn't want a bunch of identical hero women, that each could have its own character. Each Valkyrie artist comes to the shop, they get down to their underwear, we wrap them in saran wrap, we then grease them down with Pam, and then the fabric that this armor is made out of